Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday to you. I'm going to wait just a few minutes to let people join us. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Dr. Brooke, board certified dermatologist, healthy skin advocate, owner of Skin Wellness Dermatology Associates, 10-time marathoner, and author of soon-to-be-released book, Skincare for Runners. So I wanted to hop on today, reintroduce myself, and let's talk about what's coming up. So we'll wait just a few minutes. As you can see, it is a lovely day here in North Carolina. It is super duper hot though, really, really hot. So through this series, I'm going to be doing a series on skincare for runners. I wanted to talk about healthy skin as we work out outdoors, our hair, our diet, and all of the things that are necessary so that we can make sure that we are successful in our race endeavors. So once again, allow me to introduce myself. I am Dr. Brooke, board certified dermatologist, healthy skin advocate, 10-time marathoner, and author of soon-to-be-released book, Skincare for Runners. Through my book and my athlete-focused products, I help athletes, the athlete and all of us, love the skin that we're in so we can look and feel our best. So I want to talk to you today about how I got started running. So I am certainly not the typical running body type, but what I really wanted to do is just to get outside and exercise. Hey Kaylin, how are you? Thanks for joining. And so what I found through my medical training is that I was really stressed, and I was never a long distance runner. I did a little bit of field hockey when I was in high school and, running around the block, and a little bit when I was in college. But I found that during my residency training, which is very rigorous, and all of my fellowships that I had to move around the country for, so from Chicago to Houston to Boston to Chicago and now to North Carolina, really stressful to be able to pick up every year or couple of years and move to a totally new city, not knowing anyone. And so when I moved down to Houston, I went down there to do a fellowship in skin cancer surgery, and I did not know a soul in Houston, Texas. I was just going down there for my training. But when I was not training and after long hours at the hospital, I found myself really feeling very isolated. And so I saw a little advertisement in a magazine about change your life, run a marathon. And I thought to myself, we're never going to be running a marathon because we've never done that before. But what I can do is to join the running group and maybe get up to 2, 3, 4 miles, get a little bit of exercise, maybe meet some people, and feel better. And so I joined a group, and slowly we went from running just a few miles to longer and longer and longer distance. And before I knew it, I was at the start of my first marathon. Now, let me tell you, as a beginner at that time, I have lots of secrets to share with you about marathon training. And I didn't know any better about starting my marathon training in Houston, Texas in the middle of the summer when it was 200 degrees outside. No one told me we were not supposed to be doing that. So I did it. But I have a few tips to share with you about the training and how to stay hydrated and all of that. And we'll get to that in a later chat. But after I finished my first marathon, I really realized that it really is a metaphor for life. And there's always going to be a hard part of your training. There's going to be a hard part of your race. There's going to be a hard part of your day, and there's going to be a hard part of your week. And through the marathon training and really just training your mind and your mindset, you realize that with hard work and when you just continue to put one foot in front of the other, you'll get there and you'll be successful. So for me, marathon training has really been such a metaphor for life, especially over these last few years, where I know if I just dig down and dig deep, I'll get there. I might not be first, but I'll get there and I'll finish. And so I wanted to share a little bit of that with you because for me, it has just, particularly this year, it has been a lifesaver. And so, I started running because I wanted some stress relief, and I continued running because I met some amazing people through my training and through my different running ventures. And because I had to move so frequently every couple of years and reinvent myself and meet new people and get acclimated to a new city, what I found consistently was if I could find a running group and a coffee shop and a bookstore, those three things, I would be okay. And so the thing I love about runners is, for the most part, no judgment. Everybody looks the same in shorts and a t-shirt, and everybody smells the same after a long race. Hey Pam, how are you? Thanks for joining. And so what I found is those were my people. That was my tribe. If I could find the running group in whatever city I planted myself in, then I knew I would be okay, because I could get out and do some miles, gradually increase my miles, meet some people in my training group, and eventually get to the start line of my race. And that has really been what has been very successful for me personally over the last 10 to 15 years. And so once I finished my training in Houston, I moved to Chicago. And I loved my marathon training group so much that I decided I should start a group in Chicago. And what I realized about the Chicago running community, and Chicago is certainly, as far as the running community, is a world-class city. The marathon is like none other. And so because of that, there's a little bit of elitism with marathon training. And most of the running groups at that time had a rule that if you could not show up on the first day being able to complete 6 miles, then you couldn't be in the group. And having been that person who could never run 6 miles, I'm like, well, how do you get to finish the marathon if you can't meet the criterion to join the group? And so the group that I started on the south side of Chicago in a neighborhood where no one thought runners would show up was called Chicago Fit. And the very first year we had about 40 people in the group. And I remember going to Fleet Feet Running Store, which is a national chain, but in Chicago, very much the leader in the running community, and meeting the owners, Dave and Lisa Zimmer, who are still dear friends of mine today, and talking to them about this group that I wanted to start on the south side of Chicago. And everyone said, you'll never do it. No one's gonna come down there. Nobody wants to run. Well, 4 years later, we had 400 people in our group. And I see a couple of people who were in my group now, Pam Taylor, who completed a marathon. And so the premise of this group was we can take a couch potato to finishing a marathon in 6 months of training. And it really is just a gradual training. You get out there, the next week you do a few more miles, you revel in your success, and then you keep going and keep going. And you know that if you are steadily moving forward in a forward direction, you will get there. And one of my favorite things was, as the director of the group and also one of the coaches and pace group leaders, I had men and women who literally could not even walk a mile on their first day of training and were crying when we made them do the tryout to see how fast, what pace group they would be in. And then to see them 3 months later finishing their first 10 miles, and the joy and the sense of satisfaction and accomplishment was just life-changing. And to this day, some of those people in the group are still some of my dearest friends. And so just to recap, my name is Dr. Brooke. I'm a board-certified dermatologist, 10-time marathoner, author of soon-to-be-released book, Skincare for Runners. And I'm coming here today to start a series on skincare for runners, but I wanted to chat with you about really how I started running. Because again, I'm not the typical runner. I showed up at a running group and took a chance on me, signed up, did what I was supposed to do. And I'm not fast by any means. I am not fast. Trust me, I am not fast. That story, the tortoise and the hare, I live that every day. I am the tortoise. I will get there. I'll get it done. It's not always pretty, but if you just keep moving, you will get there. And so again, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my journey and how I started running, and really how this all translated into my soon-to-be released book, Skincare for Runners. So, as a dermatologist, obviously we care about, and we are physicians and the experts in hair, skin, and nails. And also as a runner, I found that there's certain challenges with athletes with their hair, skin, and nails. And unfortunately, particularly with some African American women, as far as hair care and athletic endeavors, sometimes there's a disconnect, and often, sadly, what people choose is not health. So we don't want to be in a position where we are choosing hair over health. We want to figure out ways that we can do both. We also want to figure out some ways that as everyday athletes, we can manage the aches and pains that come along with training year after year. And that certainly occurs as well. So I want to talk to you a little bit about why running. What are the benefits of running? Well, number one, you don't need very much. It's a very low cost activity. So what you do need are shoes that fit well, running shoes that fit well. So I would highly encourage you to go to a specialty running store such as Fleet Feet, where they will actually fit you for shoes that are meant for your feet. I have flat feet. They look like pancakes at the beach. And so if you have flat feet, you might need something called an orthotic, which helps to lift your arch support. But that is where getting somebody who understands how to fit you for the proper shoes that you need will be very, very helpful. So Fleet Feet running store, they're national. They are all over the United States. You can search them up, fleetfeet.com. So low cost activity to run. All you need, shoes and clothes, please. And then you walk out your front door and you're on your way. As a dermatologist, I also want you to wear your sunscreen, and so we'll be talking about that next week, about how to choose a proper sunscreen. But you don't have to get out and run 5 miles the first day. If all you can do and all you want to do is to walk around the block, then go do that. That's more than you did yesterday. And so the challenge that a lot of people have is just getting started. You know, you feel that you can't do it, that you're out of shape. But if you just take the first step, then you will get in shape. It might take a few months, but that's okay. Where are you going? What else you got to do? So over time, you will increase your endurance, you will increase your speed, you will increase your distance, and you will get to the start line. And so I would always suggest for people to find your tribe. So find a group that will help to keep you accountable. And so many of the running stores, whatever city you live in, have amateur groups that might meet on a Monday night or a Tuesday night. You just show up and you meet some new friends and you find a pace group. There are also other groups such as Black Girls Run, where you will meet in certain areas of the city, again, national group, that you can connect with people who will run your pace. And even if you're not very social and you're not really going to meet people, just showing up and having somebody next to you or in front of you in your group, that will just help to keep you motivated. Because regardless of what distance you are running or walking, there's always going to be a time in that workout where you're like, I'm done. And let me tell you, I am one of those people. I need a group. Every time I try and run by myself, I never go as far as I know I should. I start imagining all of these little aches and pains, like, oh my God, that's my toenail that's hurting, or woo, I'm hot, versus just continuing to go if you have two people next to you that are just pushing your pace. And you never know what the conversation may bring up, all sorts of entertainment. And so you learn a lot about people just from running. And so number one is find your tribe. Find your tribe to keep yourself accountable, to show up for the race, to show up for your training. The second thing is safety. You know, there are lots of running trails that are a little secluded, and you certainly don't want to become a victim of crime. And sadly, crime happens against runners and walkers. And so for a safety standpoint, I would definitely suggest getting rid of the headphones, going with a group of people, especially if you are going out in the evening or late at night or to a secluded trail. And there's lots of trackers, fitness app, a lot of other trackers that you can put on your phone where you can actually tell a friend to track you as you are going through your running pace, just so you know that they know that you've gotten done safely. And so, again, just to summarize, I am Dr. Brooke, board certified dermatologist, healthy skin advocate, 10-time marathoner, 26.2 miles times 10, that's a lot of running, and author of soon to be released book, Skincare for Runners. And I just wanted to hop on today to reintroduce myself and to invite you to this series, which is going to be Sundays at 2, Skin Tips for Runners, for the next few weeks, and we can talk about all of the things that runners need to know. I'll be sharing some tips and secrets with you. If there's anything in particular that you are interested in learning about, feel free to hit me up. Invite your friends who might be interested and benefit from this information. You can follow me across all social media at Dr. Brooke, and I look forward to seeing and chatting with you soon. Thank you so much for coming, and let's make sure that we get out there, run happy, run safe, or at least just move. So take care. Thanks for joining. Thank you.